Okay. So time value of money. We are going to do time value of money first. So what are we going to do in time value of money? All of you know that time value of money consists of, we are going to do simple interest in this. Then we are going to do compound interest. Then we are going to do annuity. Okay. Annuity. In annuity, we are going to do various things like present value. We are going to do future value. And we are going to do applications. Okay. So let us quickly understand what we mean by simple interest vis-a-vis compound interest. Okay. See, whenever you deposit any money in a bank or anywhere, you will earn some interest. You will earn some interest on it. Okay. What you deposit initially is called as the principal. This interest is nothing but your income. Both put together, okay, will give you your amount. After n number of years, you will get an amount. Okay. So this is what you will get after n number of years. Okay. So let's say you deposited this at right now, time 0. Right now, this is called as time 0 you're going to deposit. Now this will be earned over a period. And this will come at time n, later in the future. Okay. So this interest can be computed in two ways, two methods. One is simple interest, the other is compound interest. Now in simple interest method, how do you compute? In compound interest method, how do you compute? What is the difference between the two? In simple interest method is similar to straight line method of depreciation, SLM. This compound interest is similar to WDV, okay, written down value method of depreciation. What is this method and what is this method? In straight line method, every year the amount of depreciation is the same, irrespective of the year in which you are, irrespective of the year in which you are going to calculate it. So every year you're going to have the same amount of depreciation. Okay. Whereas in WDV method of depreciation is calculated based on the opening balance of the asset. And what does the opening balance depend on? The opening balance depends on the closing balance of the previous year, which is nothing but the opening balance or the original cost of the asset minus depreciation computed that year. For example, you're buying something for 1 lakh of rupees. Let's say the depreciation rate is 10%. So 10% of 1 lakh will be 10,000. When you subtract this, what you get is 90,000. This becomes the closing balance, which becomes the opening balance for the next year for calculating depreciation. So in the next year, you get another 9,000, 10% of 90,000. So balance of 81,000, it becomes the closing balance of the second year. So this is the first year closing balance. This is the second year closing balance. This is the depreciation for year 1. This is the depreciation for year 2. Alright. Same thing with compound interest. Only difference is here it keeps on reducing. In compound interest, the amount goes on increasing because you are adding interest to it. Okay. Just a minute. Sorry. Okay. So you are adding interest to it every year. So compound interest method of depreciation is calculated on the opening balance available for computation of interest. Okay. Only difference is it will go on increasing. For example, let me take the same thing and show you here. 1 lakh amount is deposited at year 1, beginning of year 1. Let's say beginning of year 1 is 2020, Jan 1st, 2020. So your 10% interest would be 10,000. Then the closing balance will be 1 lakh and 10,000. This will be the compound interest for year 1. This will be the closing balance for year 1. Now in year 2, CI2 will be 10% on this, which is 11,000. So your total will be 1,21,000. This will be the balance as on Jan 1st, 2021. Alright. So now, like this, we will keep proceeding every year. Okay. So this is the balance of the beginning of the so December. Sorry. Small. So December 2020 closing balance or Jan 1st 2021 opening balance. I should put Jan 2021 opening balance here. So this is the interest for the second year. This is the interest for the first year. So you see how it is calculated in case of compound interest. Whereas in case of straight line method of depreciation, what would happen is, this is your CI. In case of your SI, what would happen is, you will be having in Jan 1st, you will be depositing the same 1 lakh of rupees. Okay. Your SI in the beginning will be 10,000 because it is 10%. Closing balance will be, this is SI1. Okay. Again, this is Jan 1st, 2020. So this will become 1,10,000. So this will become your December 31st, 2020. Now your SI2 will be again 10,000. Okay, remember your straight line method of depreciation, same number will be the interest every year. Okay, so your total will be 1,20,000 as the closing balance, December 31st, 2021, end of the year. This will be the closing balance. Now you see the difference between this and this. There is a difference of 1,000 rupees extra that you are earning here. Because of the second year interest, here you are earning 11,000, whereas in simple interest you are earning only 10,000. So extra 1,000 that you are earning here. So the extra 1,000 that you are earning is nothing but the interest on interest. The closing balance, on that we are computing the interest. Whereas here we are computing on the opening balance. Okay, so you're getting extra 1,000 because you're getting interest on interest. You're calculating 10% of 1 lakh plus 10% of 10,000. 10% of 1 lakh is 10,000. 10% of 10,000 is 1,000. Both put together is 11,000, which is what you're computing here. Okay, so you get interest on interest in case of compound interest. So naturally compound interest is better. You earn a little extra although the rate of interest is same. Okay. So far any questions? Is the difference between the two correct? Clear to everybody? Oh. Okay. So let us go to, now in compound interest itself, what is better for us? In compound interest itself, what would be better would be, or let us look at what are the different types of compounding. Okay, this is the different, I'll solve all the problems, don't worry. I'll first just take a quick revision of the concepts, because there could be participants who might not have done this, or some of you may not be very confident in this particular area. So just to keep everybody on the same page, let us just discuss all the concepts first, then we'll start with the problems. Okay, so now there could be different types of compound interest. What are the different types of compound interest? One is you can do the compounding every day, that is daily compounding, or you can do monthly compounding. You can do quarterly compounding, semi-annually or half-yearly compounding, or you can do annual compounding every year. Okay, whatever it is, the formula for compounding is this: amount is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 the whole power N, and your CI will be nothing but amount minus the principal. Okay, in CI formula we arrive at the amount. This is very important for you to note. Okay, we arrive at the amount. For arriving at the compound interest, we have to do amount minus the principal. Okay, whereas in simple interest, the formula is SI is equal to PNR divided by 100. PNR divided by 100. straight away arrive at simple interest. So how do you arrive at amount now? Amount is equal to principal plus interest. Okay, that interest could be simple interest in this case. Are we clear with this formula? Both the formulas. Simple interest is just PNR divided by 100. You arrive at the simple interest value straight away, and then you arrive at the amount by adding principal with interest. Okay. What is P? What is N? N is nothing but time period. P is principal. R is your rate of interest. Now, what is your compound interest formula? Variables P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole power N. So, P denotes the principal again, R is the rate of interest, N is the number of conversion periods. So, I am using a different term here called conversion period. Okay, because what will happen in this formula is, so if I am doing daily compounding, I will be doing P into 1 plus R. R is always given per annum, rate percent per annum. So here when I am taking the rate per annum, I will have to divide it by 365. So R divided by 365 divided by 100, the whole part N. N will be number of days. Number of days here is 365. Okay, for 1 year if I am calculating. If I am doing for 2 years, this into N. Okay, 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or whatever. Are we clear with this particular thing? Now, same thing let me show you with 12 months. Okay, P into 1 plus R by 12 divided by 100 whole power 12 into N. Now, the same thing for this. R will become R by 4. Okay, P into 1 plus R by 4 whole thing divided by 100, the whole power 4N. Okay, now coming to this. P into 1 plus R by 2, the whole divided by 100, the whole power 2N, 2 times of N. Now this is nothing but the formula as here. 1 will be nothing but P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole power N as it is. Are we clear with this? Okay, I have a problem here in which I'll be doing all the things. Annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, what happens. So this is the basic with the formula first. Okay, I hope all of you are taking down also side by side. And if you're ready, we can start with the problems. Or if you want a minute time to copy down, we can do that also. Okay. You don't need time to copy, right? Can I proceed? Yeah. I'll also be sharing this PDF document with you after the class is over or after the end of today's session. This contains a compilation of all the different models in which the questions can come. Okay, so why are we writing R by 365? There is daily compounding. You're compounding every day. So in a year, there are 365 days. And the rate is given per annum. So this rate is for the entire year. Okay, so you have 15% per annum, let us say, which means this is the rate for the entire year. So what is the rate per day? Per day rate will be 15 divided by 365 to get per day rate, because this is the yearly rate. To get the per day rate, we will be dividing by 365. And same way, n is given here as 1 day. Sorry, 1 year. Okay, 1 year means 365 into 1. And if you're calculating the same thing for 2 years, 365 into 2. That many number of days we are compounding. So compounding means at the end of the day, we are calculating the interest. And then the next day, the opening balance becomes the closing balance of the previous day. So daily compounding. This is your daily compounding. Are we clear? Okay. Shall we proceed? I think we'll proceed with the problems now. All of you take your calculators. Let's get ready. Let's read the first one. Sachin deposited rupees 1 lakh in his bank for 2 years at simple interest rate of 6%. How much interest would he earn? How much would be the final value of his deposit? So two things are asked in the question. How much interest he will earn and the final value of the deposit. Okay. So first is the interest calculation. Second is the final value of the deposit. Interest calculation means SI. Final value means amount. Okay. SI and amount they are asking. All we are going to do is simple calculation using the formula PNR by 100. Okay. So all of you can use your calculator also straight away. 1 lakh into P N R. So N is 2 years into R is 6%. So when you write it as a percentage, it will become 6 by 100. Okay. This will give you your SI value. So how much is it? Yeah, please don't unmute your phone because it will be a little difficult. We are many people now. It will be 12,000. Although I really appreciate that you are participating, and unfortunately, when we are in an online mode, we have to just bear with it. Okay, 12,000 is the interest earned in 2 years. So how much interest would he earn? 12,000 is the answer. Now, final value of the deposit amount is equal to P plus SI. P plus SI will be 12,000. Okay, sorry. Principal will be 1 lakh plus 12,000. So 1 lakh and 12,000 becomes your amount. Are we clear with this? So let's proceed to the, very good. So let's proceed to the second question. Find the rate of interest if the amount actually it is owed, not owned. The amount owed after 6 months is rupees 1,050, borrowed amount being rupees 1,000. Okay, can I just erase all these things so that we have some space for regarding the solutions? You please copy down whatever we are doing now. Because even if I do share, I might be deleting it like this, so you may not be able to get the benefit unless you take it down. You'll of course get the video of this. Okay, so if you miss something, you can again go back to the video and also see it. Okay, so find the rate of interest if the amount owed after 6 months. So after 6 months you are owing so much, means amount is equal to, this is your first question. Second question, amount owed is equal to 1,050. Amount borrowed is the amount that you take. So it is 1,000. So your SI, it's not mentioned in the question, but since I'm putting it under simple interest topic, it is all SI only. SI is rupees 50. Okay. N is 6 months. R is equal to question mark. So let us just put it in the formula. SI is equal to P into n. N is 6 by 12, so which is 0.5 into R, we have to find R by 100. This is equal to 50. Okay, cancel the two zeros. So what do you get? There is a 0 here, there is a 0 here. You can cancel this. So what you get is 5 divided by 0.5. So what percentage do you get? You get 10%, which is the rate per annum. Are we clear? Okay. So let's proceed to the next question. So can we have a volunteer who can read it? Priya, can you just read it? The next one. Yeah. Okay, so I've included all types of sums. This sum was, these are things that you should note down, okay? This sum was calculating SIN amount. This sum was calculating R. This sum is going to be calculating N, okay? So like that, all the types of sums are included in this list. So the third question that we are going to do is calculating N. So how do you calculate N? Now, he invested 70,000. So your principal is 70,000. Okay, the rate of interest is 6.5%. He received, so the amount that he received is 85,925 at the end of the term. Find out the period for which the sum was invested. So N is question mark. So now your SI first step would be 85,925 minus 70,000 on your calculator. 85,925 minus 70,000 on your calculator, which gives you 15,925. Okay, so 15,925. Now the formula is P into N into R by 100 is equal to 15,925. So you can cancel these two zeros here. In the next step, N will be 15,925 divided by 700 into 6.5 on your calculator. Find out how much. Divided by 700 divided by 6.5. 3.5 years. Okay. Note here, you got the answer in decimal here, 3.5 years straight away. Note here that we took 6 months in this question. 6 months, we took it as 0.5. We didn't take it as 6. Okay, we didn't take it as 6 because this is per annum. You get 50 as your simple interest. So you have to take it correctly. So these are the things that you should keep a red pen next to you and you should keep marking. So that, before the day of the examination, this particular material will be very useful for you to revise all kinds of problems. Can I proceed? Fourth question. And we can have one more volunteer, maybe Anirudh. Yeah. Okay, so let's do the next one. That is question number 4. So he deposited some amount, we don't know how much, so principal is question mark, in a bank for 7.5 years. So N is 7.5, write it as 7.5. Okay, then your R is 6%, so write it as 6%. He received so much means amount. At the end of the term also it is being mentioned. So 1,01,500. Compute the initial deposit, so principal is missing. So we have to start with the formula. A is equal to P plus SI. A is 1,01,500. This is equal to principal plus principal, we don't know, SI. SI formula is P into N is 7.5 into R. R is 6 divided by 100. Now using this formula, we'll take out P common in both. So let's take out P common in both. What you get is 1 plus, what you do is take 7.5 into 6 on your calculator, divide it by 100 and see what you get. 0.45. This is equal to 1,01,500. So principal is equal to 1,01,500 divided by 1.45. So 1,01,500 divided by 1.45. What you get is 70,000. Very good. So this becomes your principal. Shall we proceed? Next question. Since we'll be short of time, so let's be a little quick. Okay. So anywhere you have difficulty, you just put it in the chat box. I'm checking it now and then. I will discuss it after I finish a particular small topic. Okay. So let's go to question number 5. Anirudh, you can just continue. See, I've just taken this question because 1 year, 8 months, some people have difficulty converting this in the tests I've seen. Okay, so that is why we are just taking. So sum of rupees 46,875 was lent out. Lent out means this becomes our initial value. Okay, so which is your principal, 46,875. So at a simple interest at the end of 1 year and 8 months. So n will be nothing but 1 year. So 1 plus 8 means 8 divided by 12. 8 divided by 12 on your calculator, how much do you get? 0.666666. So it becomes 1.67. Okay. Or we can keep it as mixed fraction also in case you don't want to bring it to this particular decimal. How do you keep it as mixed fraction? 8 by 12 is 2 by 3. Okay. So 1 plus 2 by 3 will be nothing but 5 by 3. We can keep it like this also. Okay. Next is our R. What is our rate of interest? Rate of interest is what we need to find out, which is question mark. Now next information given is total amount was 50,000. Total amount means A. A will be 50,000. Now what is your SI? SI will be the difference between the two, that is 50,000 minus 46,875, which is 3125. After this, it's the formula, but only thing that is different about this question is this section, which is why we have taken up this particular question. Okay, so how do you substitute it in the formula? All we do is SI is equal to P, which is 46,875 into N. N is 5 by 3. So I'm not putting the 3 right now. Into R divided by 300. We can write like this. Okay, the 3 comes to the denominator because it's all multiplication here. So this is equal to 3125. So just use your calculator. R is equal to 3125 into 300 divided by 46,875 divided by 5. So R is 4%. Are we clear? Can we proceed? So next question, Anirudh. Correct. So the question is telling, this question again, the unique thing is they've given you the amount. What is the amount in 2 years time and what is the amount in 3 years time? And accordingly, the principal and the interest is asked. Okay. So how we would solve this is, So what we will do is amount in 2 years time. This is the amount at the end of the second year. It is 6,200. Amount at the end of the third year is 7,400. Now, essential concept of simple interest, I want you all to go back and remember what we discussed in the beginning today. Okay, what did we say? Year on year, the interest that you compute is the same. So, what is the difference between the amount at the end of the second year and amount at the end of the third year? It is nothing but the interest earned in third year. Interest earned in third year. That is the difference between the amount at the end of the third year and amount at the end of the second year. So that is nothing but 1,200. 7,400 minus 6,200 is 1,200. That is nothing but the amount A3 minus A2 is the interest earned in the third year. Okay. So now that you know that the interest earned in the third year is 1,200, you know that the interest earned in the first year, second year is also the same, because that is the concept of simple interest. Every year the interest earned will be the same. Okay. So first year, second year, third year, all the 3 years put together is 1,200 into 3, which is 3,600. This is the interest for the 3 years. Now your principal will be nothing but amount minus interest. So 7,400 minus 3,600. How much do you get? Check with your calculator. It is nothing but 3,800. Okay. So 3,800 will be the principal. Amount minus interest. SI or interest. Either way you can write it. Okay. Now that you know the principal, you have to find the rate of interest. So when options are given to you, what you can do is this is eliminated, this is eliminated. This is the percentage that we have. So we can use the percentage and also check. 3,800 into 31.57 percentage. How much do you get? Just check on your calculator. So 1,199.66, which can be rounded to 1,200, which is the interest in the first year, correct? So the answer is option A. Are we clear? Next question, question number 7, Anirudh. Okay, this is a very commonly asked question. Okay, before I proceed to this question, I just want to tell one more point. Here we said amount at the end of the 2 years, amount at the end of the 3 years, right? I have also in the test series that we have conducted, I remember I've asked this question instead of 3 years. I have asked here, I think 3 years and 6 months or something like that. Okay, what happens in that case? So then it becomes 3 years and 6 months here in that case. So the difference between the two, this 1,200 will be the interest earned in the third, not third year. Interest earned in third year and 6 months time. So it will be the interest for 1 year plus 6 months time. Interest earned for 1 year and 6 months. So interest earned for 1.5 years. So what you need to do is bring it down to 1 year. Okay, I'm just showing an alternative question. Okay, so that if that way it is asked in the exam, 1 year and 6 months, 1 year and 8 months, 1 year and 4 months, anything else is asked. So 1,200 is the interest earned in 1 year and 6 months. In that case, you have to divide it by 1.5. Then you will get 1,200 divided by 1.5 will be 800, which is the interest earned in third year or per year. Then here you will, instead of 1,200, you will be putting 800 into 3, and then here accordingly this number will change. 800 into 3 will be 2,400. So this minus this, here it will be 5,000. Okay, accordingly you will have to change it. Are we clear about it? Suppose this kind of question comes in the exam, will you be able to handle it? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. The first thing is primarily nothing is given, assume it to be simple interest. And the other thing that you can do is see the difference between simple interest and compound interest is simple interest year on year the amount, the interest earned is same. So it becomes easy to calculate. Whereas in compound interest, the amount earned, if this is the amount earned in the third year, then you will arrive at the principal at the beginning of the third year only. Then with that you have to arrive at the principal at the beginning. So it becomes difficult. Okay, so in that case we'll just assume it to be simple interest and we will do it because it will be easier for you to do it. That is the main reason. And if nothing is mentioned, primarily assume simple interest. Okay. Yeah. This 800 I'm saying in case the question said 3 years and 6, sorry, the question said, suppose this is the amount at the end of the third year, suppose it said 3 years and 6 months in the question here. Here instead of 3 years, it is 3 years and 6 months. Then what happens is you will be earning this 7,400 minus 6,200, correct? Which is 1,200, which is the interest earned in 1.5 years. So you have to divide it by 1.5 to arrive at 800. Then everything will change every step after that. That is what I was trying to tell you. Okay? Can we proceed? Next question. Sum of money, yeah, you've already read it, I think. Sum of money doubles itself in 10 years. The number of years it will triple itself. This is also very commonly asked, and again nothing is mentioned. So you assume it to be simple interest. So a sum of money. So let's say a sum of money we don't know. 100 becomes 200. Alright. 100 becomes 200 in how many years time? In 10 years time. Okay, so if it is simple interest, what happens is this is your principal, this is your amount. So your SI is nothing but 200 minus 100, which is 100. So this is the total interest. Per year you're earning how much? 100 divided by 10 years time. You're earning rupees 10 per year as your interest. Alright. So the number of years it would triple itself. Now you want 100 to become 300. Okay. So common sense, before even we get into the calculation, let us do a little bit of common sense evaluation. So 100 is your principal. You want it to become 300. You want the amount to become 300. So to 100, how much should you add? You should be adding 200. 200 to make it 300. Now how will you get this 200? In a year you are earning only 10 rupees. Okay, you're earning only 10 rupees. So when will you get 200? You multiply 10 with 20. So 20 becomes your N. In 20 years time it will become 200. Are you clear? The interest will be 200. So 100 plus 200 is 300. Or in other words, you can also say 100 plus, let me write only the interest in it. 100 is the principal plus interest is 100 will give you an amount of 200. Now if the principal is again happens to be 100 but I want 300 now, so I need to add 200. I added 100 in 10 years time, so I will add 200 in 20 years time. That's all, just proportionate. Are we clear with this logic? Very commonly asked question. Doubles itself, triples itself. Very commonly asked. So can we proceed? Okay, the last question on compound interest. Why this question has been included is look at the options. Okay, so that is why I have included. I'll discuss why. Okay, Anirudh, just read it. How much? Okay, so eighth question, principal is 8,500, amount is 10,200. So difference between the two is your SI. Calculate how much. 10,200 minus 8,500 will be 1,700. So your R will be 12.5%. T will be question mark. So just use the formula SI is equal to P and R. So P is 8,500 into N, we don't know, we are going to calculate, into R is 12.5 divided by 100. This is equal to 1,700. So cancel the two zeros out here. So N will be nothing but 1,700 divided by 85 into 12.5. So use your calculator. Tell me what you get. What you get is 1.6 years. Okay. Now this is very important for you at this juncture to convert it correctly, the correct option, because 1.6 if incorrectly corrected, you will end up with a negative. Many students, what they tick in the examination is this option, which is not correct. Okay, why this is not correct? 1.5, half means 0.5. So 1.5 means 1 plus 0.5 is 1.5. So this converts to 1.5. Are we clear? 1 year and 7 months. 1 year and 7 months converts to 7 divided by 12 on your calculator. How much do you get? 0.5833, not 0.5. It is 0.5833. So 1 plus 0.5833 is nothing but 1.58, which rounds to 1.6, which will match with this particular value. Are we clear? So this is our answer. This is a very important note to be written out here. So that is why we covered this point in our revision. Can we proceed to compound interest? Are we clear so far? So let me erase all these things. Let's start with compound interest problems. One of you can lead it. We have another volunteer now. Maybe C. Sashank. Let me check if you don't have any static. Yes. Yeah, ninth question. Okay. So this is what I was planning to do under different categories for you: annually, semi-annually, quarterly and monthly. Before that, this was the conversion periods that we discussed. Let's just take a look at the formula once. A is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100. The whole power N will give you the amount. Now for this, when we calculate compound interest, it will be nothing but amount minus the principal. So what we will do is we will do a small table with annually, semi-annually, then let's have quarterly, and then we will have monthly. So how we are going to do under 4 categories. Okay. So let us write down N. What will N be under 4 categories? Okay. So 2 years of compounding. So N will be straight 2 here. In semi-annually, it will be 2 into 2. 2 twos are 4. Okay. In quarterly, in 1 year, how many quarters are there? 4 quarters are there. So 2 into 4. 2 into 4 is 8. In 1 year, how many months are there? 12 months are there. So 2 into 12 is 24. This will be your n value. Principal will be the same in all the cases. 2000, 2000, 2000, 2000. Now coming to the rate. Rate here is 10%. So straight 10% per annum we will write here. Whereas semi-annually 10 by 2, 5%. 10 by 4, 2.5. 10 by 12, 0.833. These will be your percentages. Okay. So now what we will do is, let us calculate the amount using this particular formula. Okay. So just take your calculator and start doing it. 2000 into, I don't have space here, so I am writing it here. Okay. 1 plus 10 by 100, the whole power n. N is 2. Okay. So 10 by 100 on your calculator is 10 divided by 100 is 0.1. So 1 plus 0.1 is 1.1. 1.1 the whole square is into equal to. That is 1.21 into 2000 will give you 2420. Now the same thing for this and this we will have to do. So I'll show you monthly. You fill up quarterly and semi-annually. Because monthly 1 plus 0.833 divided by 100, the whole part 24. Okay, I'll show you how to do this whole part 24. All you're going to do is 0.833 divided by 100. Okay, you want me to switch on the video and show the calculator? Anybody? Anybody wants to see the calculator how I'm doing? Can put in the chat box. Nobody. All of you know how to do it with the calculator. Very good. Okay. So what we will do is 0.00833333. After dividing by 100, we get this value. Do plus 1. When you do plus 1, you get 1.00833. Now whole part 24, how I am going to do it. Let me show it. 1.0083, you type afresh. 833, one more 3. So totally I am having 5 decimals. Okay. Or you can add as many decimals till the end of your calculator, till it holds. Now into, when I do into and then equal to, I get whole square. But I need whole part 24. So I'll press equal to once again. I'll get whole part 3. So once again equal to whole part 4. Okay, equal to whole part 5. Like that, keep pressing equal to and keep calculating, counting it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. Anybody wants to tell me, Sashank, what number did you get on your calculator? No, the decimal I am asking. Whole part 24, what did you get? Is everybody getting the same thing? Anirudh? Correct. That is the correct number. Correct. That's what even I am getting. So what you get here is 1.223096114. This is what you will be getting on your calculator. Are we clear? Can you all see this? How we got this is, each time we keep pressing this equal to, equal to, equal to. First time alone we press into and then we start with equal to. Okay. Each equal to is whole part 3, whole part 4, whole part 5, whole part 6. Anybody not able to get, please put in the chat box. I'll repeat the procedure again. If you don't put, it means you've got it and we will proceed. Okay. Now to this number, what you will do is, you will do into You will do into 2000. Into 2000 you will get 2440 as the value here. So 2440. Now your CI in this case will be 2420 minus 2000 which is 420. 2440 minus 2000 which is 440. This is what you will get. Okay. Similarly, you can fill up these two things also later. Or if anybody has calculated already, can tell me so that I can fill it up. Yeah, I know that. You have not done one more. One more step you should have done. No. You stopped. I think one step short. Okay. Somebody wants me to explain this once again. I will just do it once again. What you should do on the calculator is you should take this value on the calculator. What is this value? This divided by 100. So 0.0083. So what you get is 1.0083333333. Let me show it to the here on the screen. Can you see it? One point double zero eight three 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 three. This is what you have. Okay. So now what you have to do is press the into button. Okay, now it depends on what calculator you have also. I have this Casio calculator and some may have the Citizen calculator. So Citizen and Casio, the same procedure only, but this particular calculator that I have the issue if I press once into it does not work. So I need to press into 2 times. For others, you need to press into only once. Okay, so I am pressing 2 times, but others you try with normal once into. Just try once into and then press equal to. Okay, so this becomes whole square. Whole square. Now once more equal to whole power 3. Once more equal to whole power 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That comes to 1.2203 and so on. Are we clear? Is it clear? So after that you have to just, all you have to do is just multiply. Okay. All you're going to do is just multiply with this number 2000 and you'll get 2440. So somebody has told me semi-annually is 2431. So 2431 is 431. And what is quarterly? 2436. Very good. 2436. So 436 is what you get here. So look at the values 420, 431, 436, 440. You get the highest in case of monthly. Are we clear? Can we proceed? Okay, the calculator procedure that we just now learned is very, very important because you will be applying this not only here, but you will be applying it completely in annuities. Okay, so I will also teach you memory, how to use M plus. I will just revise it once again, not teach you, all of you know it. So I'm just going to revise it, how you're going to use your M plus, how you're going to use MRC to recollect. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Okay, compound interest, who wants to volunteer? Archana, you want to read? Yeah. So on what sum, the question is asking on what sum will the compound interest be 1640. Okay. So first of all the sum means the principal is missing. Okay. Let me just erase all this. So on what sum? So your principal is missing, principal is question mark. Will the compound interest at 5% per annum for 2 years? So R is your 5%, or you can write it as 0.05 from this place onwards. N is 2 years, compounded annually. So this is not an issue. It will be CI will be 1640. So CI is given and our formula does not have calculation for CI. It has a calculation for amount, and CI is amount minus principal. This is something you need to be very careful. Many students just do this and leave it there and they substitute here. Okay, they substitute in place of amount. So these are the mistakes that normally students do in the exams. Okay, so 1000 amount minus principal. You start with this step. So amount formula is this. In this you don't have the principal, so leave it as it is. 1 plus R by 100. R by 100 is 0.05. So 1 plus that is 1.05. Straight away you write from now on. Whole power 2 whole square minus principal in this formula. So minus P. So this is equal to 1640. Okay. So take out P common in this. What you get is 1.05 the whole square minus 1 is equal to 1640. So now in this particular question, let us learn how to use the memory function of the calculator. So all of you take 1.05 the whole square on your calculator. Calculate that. So I have taken 1.05 on my calculator. I am going to do whole square now. So into equal to, the whole square is going to be 1.1025. Next step that I have to do is minus 1. So when I do minus 1, this is the value I get. Okay. Now this I am going to store in the memory of the calculator. Memory M plus button is here in this corner. Sorry. So in this corner you are going to have M plus. We press M plus. The next step for you is to type the value. What do you have on the other side? 1640. You have 1640. So type 1640 on your calculator. Okay. So you see 1640 here. Now divided by MRC, memory recall. Where is memory recall? Here. So you've already stored this value in memory. I am just recalling. Then I am going to press equal to. This is equal to, right? So I am going to press equal to. So what I get is 16,000. What I get is 16,000 as my principal. Okay. So this is how we use the memory function of the calculator. Anybody wants me to repeat this memory function? Are we clear with this? Okay. Let's proceed to the next question. Archana, continue. Okay. Now the question clearly says an investment doubles, but it is compounded annually. So you will not have a doubt in the examination whether I am supposed to use CI or SI. Okay. So you will just say that P is becoming 2P. Or you can use the numbers 100 and 200 also, doesn't matter. P is becoming 2P. What is the formula? A is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole power N. N, you have N here. You are supposed to find the value of N. R is given to you as 7%. So now write it as 2P is equal to P into 7. Sorry. N is given to you, R is not given. I'm sorry. So N is given to you as 7 years. So R is not there. So 1 plus R by 100, you just write it as it is. Now the P you will cancel on both the sides. Okay. So look at this, how we are going to solve this. 2 is equal to 1 plus r by 100 the whole power 7. So now on both the sides I am going to raise it to the power of 1 by 7. So I am going to multiply this with 1 by 7. Okay. Let me just mark this. I am raising this side, so I should naturally raise this side also to the power of 1 by 7. So in the next step it becomes 2 power 1 by 7 is equal to 1 plus r by 100. 1 plus r by 100. The value of this is given to us in this question. 1.104090. So let us just write that down. 1.10409. This is equal to 1 plus r by 100. So next step, you will be taking this 1 here. R by 100 is equal to 0.10409. R is equal to 10 point multiply this and this with 100. 10.409 percentage. Okay. Now this value was fortunately given in the question. Suppose it is not given. Suppose this number is not available. How do we calculate it? Up to here is fine. I am teaching you now how to calculate 2 power 1 by 7. I have taught you in the class, right? I have taught you in the class how to do a cube root of a number or nth root of a number. That's exactly what we are going to do now. Okay. So let me show you that. We are going to do 2 power 1 by 7. So all of you take 2 on your calculator. Okay. See, it may not work on my calculator because like I told you, there is some issue with this. So I may ask you with some steps what is the value you're getting. Okay, so just help me out. So 2, you've taken 2 on your calculator, no? Now press the under root button 12 times and tell me what result you get. Under root button is this button. Okay, can you see this button? This button you press it 12 times. 12 times and tell me the value. Nine two three nine six nine. So this is the value you're getting. Okay, just check if it matches with this particular value, right? So this is the value that we are getting. Now what we have to do after this, Sashank? We have to do a minus 1. Okay, next. Then you will get this value. Okay, then we'll have to divide it by 7 because you're finding the 7th root here. Okay, power 1 by 7. So you're finding the 7th root, so you'll be dividing by 7. So divide by 7. So when you divide by 7, sorry, can you just read the number for me because I have some issue with the calc. Yeah. 1 point. Can you be a little slower? 0.000. How many zeros? Hmm. Check if it is matching with this. Two, four, one. Okay. I'm just retyping it because my calculator doesn't work after that one. Is it matching now? Okay. Hmm. Oh. Okay. So good that you're all getting the correct answer. So I am happy. So next is to add 1. Do plus 1. Okay. Next step is to do plus 1. When you do plus 1, this is what you get. Then the last step is to then press into and equal to 12 times. How should you press into and equal to? you have the into button here. You have the into button here, and then you have the equal to button here. So first you press into, then you press equal to. Like that you do 12 times and tell me what you get. Sorry, who's this? Okay, take 2 on your calculator. Okay, press the under root button 12 times. Okay, after you press the under root button, next step is to divide by n. You're finding power 1 by 7, so divide by 7. Okay, after you divide by 7, add 1. After you add 1, the last step is to press into and equal to 12 times. Then you will get the same value that is given in the question. In case the value is not given, you can always calculate on your own like this. Okay? So we get the same value here. Yes, Aravinda, you are able to follow? You just note down the steps and try again on your own. Else you can ask me after the class also. Okay? Sorry? You got the same answer as given in the question C. Okay? Okay, so now let us proceed. You just write down the steps. Okay, you write down the steps. These things we have already done for those who have done class with me. So for those who are not able to get it, the other students, don't worry. I will do it for you after the class also. After 9 o'clock, if you want to sit with me and do this also, we can do it. Okay, so don't worry if you've not got it. Okay, so you just try and see, or even tomorrow's you can try today and see. Tomorrow when you come back also after the class, I can do it again. So don't worry about it. We can do it. Okay, let's go to the next. Okay, yeah, continue, Archana. Which question are we in? Question number 12. Yeah. Okay, this is a very simple question only, just straightforward, but we are just looking at how the compounded half yearly will work and how we are going to find R when R is missing. Okay, so in this question we don't have any values. So, oh sorry, we are going to find N in this question. N is question mark. 8,000 is your principal. Amount is 8,820. Then your rate of interest is 10% per annum. Okay, compounded half yearly. Compounded half yearly means your n will become 2 times and r will become 0.05 when we are taking it. Okay, so a is equal to p into 1 plus r by 100 the whole power n, this formula. 8,820 we substitute here. Here we have 8,000 into r by 100. So 1.05 the whole power n. This is what we are going to have. Okay, so 8,820 divided by 8,000 on your calculator. What you get is correct. 1.1025. This is equal to 1.05 the whole power n. Now remember, in the examination you will fortunately have options for all of this. So you can always substitute the options if these are round numbers like this. With 17 years, 7 years, 10 years, if you have options you can always substitute. If not, what you do, take 1.05 on your calculator. All of you. Take 1.05 on your calculator. Then do into equal to. Into equal to. What do you get? Matches with this particular value. So therefore n you're getting here is 2 years. Sorry, two conversion periods. But please remember that n here will be compounded half yearly. So 2 conversion periods, the answer will be 1 year. In 1 year there are 2 half years. So when you're getting the answer for n as 2, you should divide it by 2, you'll get the answer as 1 year. Are we clear? So when you're substituting here the options, be very careful. This is something I want you to make a note of. When you're substituting, be careful, because the option given to you will be 1, option A will be 1, option B will be, oh sorry, I'm putting it in the wrong question, the options. 1 year, then 2, then 3, then 4. These will be the options that will be given to you. So what you will be doing, you will be substituting 1, you will not get. You will be substituting 2, you will get it. So when you get 2, you will just tick this. But it is not correct to tick this. Okay. 2 years is not the answer. The answer is 1 year, which is 2 conversion periods, because there are 2 half years in 1 year. I hope this is amply clear with everybody. Any doubts, anybody on this? Very good. So let us proceed to the next. Let us go to question number 14. Yeah, continue reading. Okay. So the population has to become 40%. So when will the population become 40%? So population is P, let's say initially, or let's say 100. So your closing population, we can call it as amount. It will be 100 plus 40%, which is equal to 140. This is your closing population. In how many years will this become? Okay, we missed question number 13, but it is okay. We'll come back to it later. Sorry, question number 13 we have to read yet. So now what is the formula? A is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 the whole power n. So 140 is equal to 100. R is 2% of the population. So 1.02 whole power n. So this divided by this is 1.4 is equal to 1.02 the whole power n. Now again just use the option 7, 10 and 17 years. There is no compounding half yearly, so directly you can substitute. So just take 1.02 on your calculator and do whole power 7 first. What do you get for whole power 7? Do you get 1.4? No. So do additional 3 times. Additional 3 equal to's. Do you get 1.4? No. You get only less than that. So do additional 7 times to get 17. So additional 7 equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when you do additional 3 times, what you get is 1.400. So answer n is 17 years approximately. Are we clear? Let's go to the 15th question, last question on compound interest, and then we'll proceed to annual effective rate and then annuity. Okay, please read it. Yeah, continue. Okay, again, one more question on calculation of n. But why I have taken up this question is, look at the decimals. Okay, you cannot substitute decimals. So how do you arrive at the answers in these kind of questions? So this was one of a question. So let's do this. Machine is 1 lakh. So your principal is 1 lakh. You bought it for 1 lakh. Ultimate scrap value is 30,000. So your amount is reducing. Depreciation, the amount always reduces. Amount is 30,000. So rate R is 20%. Okay. Life N is question mark. The formula 30,000 into 1 minus 20 by 100 the whole power n. Okay. So what you will get here is 1 lakh into 80. So you will keep it as 0.8 the whole power n. So this is equal to 30,000. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros cancel. 10 you bring it to the side, it becomes 0.3 is equal to 0.8 the whole power n. Okay. Now at this juncture, be very careful. We are going to find the value of n. So look at the options. The minimum starts with 4. So when n is equal to 4, when n is equal to 5, what value do we get? Let's check that. Okay, and when n is equal to 6, why we are taking 6s to arrive at 5.4, which is between 5 and 6. So when n is equal to 4, what do you get? Just do on your calculator zero point 0.8 the whole power 4. 0.8 the whole power 4. Correct. Now whole power 5, one more equal to. Correct. Now this 0.32768 does not match with this. It is close to it, but not exactly matching. So once more equal to. Correct. Now this number also doesn't match with this. Okay. Now our 0.3 is somewhere here in between. Correct. So our answer is also in between. So we can draw a conclusion that it must be 5.4 between 5 and 6. Or we can proceed further and calculate exactly. How we are going to calculate it exactly? Let us see here. How we are going to calculate exactly is, let us find the difference between these two. The difference between these two is 1 year. What is the difference between these two numbers? Double 536. Okay, so let us write down here, in 1 year the change was 0.065536. Okay, now what is the change between these two? That you calculate. 0.02768. This is the change. Now this change happens in how much time period? Okay, so what you have to do is 0.02768 divided by 0.065536. What you get is 0.422 years. Yeah, 36. So I'm just keeping 3 decimals. So already I have 5 years and plus 0.42 years, or approximately 0.4. Answer is 5.4 years. Okay. I'll give you a minute to take this in. How we got is cross multiply. This into this into this. Can we proceed? With this, we come to the conclusion on compound interest. We are going to move into effective rate of interest. Okay. What I've done is I've ensured that I've picked up all kinds of questions so that you don't have, we're kind of covering, but again, this is a revision session and we have many chapters, but it is still difficult to do, everything 100%, but this kind of covers every different types of questions that can be asked in the exam for this particular chapter. Okay. Shall we go to effective rate of interest, the last one, and then we move on to annuity, which is very important for us. Okay. Yeah, continue, Archana. Just read. Yeah. This is the formula for effective rate of interest. So question is saying find the amount of compound interest and the effective rate of interest. If an amount of rupees 20,000 is deposited in a bank for 1 year and the rate of interest is 8% and it is compounded semi-annually. Semi-annually means what do we do? 8% will be taken as 4. Okay, 4 percentage. So here it will become 1.04 the whole power n. In 1 year there are 2 half years. So whole power 2 minus 1. What do you get? On the calculator, 1.04 the whole power 2 minus 1. What you get is 0.0816 or 8.16 percentage. We can say 8.16 percentage is the effective rate of interest. I have already explained this to you, but let me just revise this. Effective rate of interest is nothing but, see, in 1 year, if it is compounded annually, you will be actually earning 8%. But if you're compounding more than once, you'll be earning more than 8%. That more than 8% is actually what is the effective rate of interest. Even in the table when we did above, you saw that annual, semi-annual, quarterly, monthly compounding, the highest you were earning under monthly. In fact, daily. Right? So the more the number of compounding, more you will earn. So we can't say the interest rate is actually 8%. The interest rate is more than 8%. What is that more? That is calculated using this formula. Okay. So if that is the case, how do you calculate the compound interest? This is for 1 year alone you're calculating, right? So all you do is 20,000 into 8.16 percentage, you will get the compound interest. 1632. Are we clear? Alternatively, what you can do is, you can use the formula 20,000 into 1.04 whole square. Okay, you will get the amount with this. What is the amount you're getting with this? Tell me. 20,000 into 1.04 the whole square will give you 21,632. So your CI is 21,632 minus 20,000. You get 1632 again. Are we clear? Let's proceed to annuity. Yeah, let's proceed to annuity now. So what you saw so far, do you want a 2-minute break? And then we'll start with annuity. We'll just take 2-minute break for you to quickly go through whatever we have done. Okay. We will start in just exactly, it's 7:41 on my system right now. We'll start at 7:45. Okay, that gives you 4 minutes break. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's start off. It's 7:45. So let's start now. Let's come to annuity. Okay, annuity is something which we have to understand that so far whatever you did in simple interest and compound interest, there was a single investment which you called as P. Single investment which you called as P or principal. Okay, but what about multiple investment? What happens when you have multiple investments? Multiple investment means, look at this. You have year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, let's say. Every year, let's say you're depositing 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 and 1,000. Every year you're depositing so much. It is like your recurring deposit in a bank. You're depositing so much every year. In that case, at the end of 5 years, what will be the closing amount in your bank? That is the question. Okay. So how do you calculate? This 1,000 will be lying in your bank account plus the interest earned on this 1,000 for the remaining 4 years. Because this 1,000 you're assuming you're depositing at the end of the first year. Suppose you're depositing this at the beginning, then you will be earning interest on this for 5 years. It just depends upon the question. Okay. So now like this, the second 1,000 is deposited at the end of the second year. So you will be earning interest for the third year, fourth year, fifth year on this. Then interest on this for 2 years. Interest on this for 1 year. No interest on the last 1,000. So like that you will be adding 5,000 plus interest, 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 interest. So 4 interest when you add, you will get the amount at the end of 5 years. For that we have a formula, which is what we have here. Okay, whatever I told you, discuss now with you, can be done with the help of this particular formula, FV. FV formula. FV means future value. You are calculating the value at the end of 5 years, right? You're calculating the value at the end of 5 years in the future. That is in a time graph. If I were to show you, time graph is very important for annuity questions, students. So always ensure that you're doing the time graph for all the questions. Okay. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You are depositing. These 1,000s deposited is called as annuity. This 1,000 deposited, you are finding what is the amount at the end of the 5th year. So this is what you are doing. You're going to find out what is the amount that you have deposited, you're going to receive at the end of the 5th year. So since you're finding this in the future, this is called as the future value. Okay. And for that we will use this particular formula. What is this formula? FV is equal to A into 1 plus I, the whole power n minus 1 divided by I. Okay. A here denotes annuity. Annuity means the amount that you're depositing every year. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 amount deposited, and the periodicity gap between the two deposits is also same. Suppose you don't deposit this fourth one, instead you combine the two and deposit in the 5th year, then it is not an annuity. Okay, necessarily you have to deposit in the 4th year and in the 5th year. If you miss out one in between, then it cannot be the case of an annuity. Okay. So what you have to do is, first when you're reading the question, you should see if it's a single investment or multiple investments. If it is multiple investments, then you will have to check whether you're calculating the value at the end of 5th year or you're going to calculate in the beginning. So I'll come to present value later. Okay. First, I hope you have understood what is future value. In this case, you're going to calculate future value using this formula. So here it will be 1,000, you will substitute, n will be 5. Interest will be given in the question and accordingly you will substitute. Okay. Now let us look at the question. Future value, I have put in 3 questions. Let us look at it. Okay. Can I have a volunteer who can read it so that my voice doesn't become very monotonous to everybody? Who wants to read? Bharat, you want to read? Bharat Sai, not there. Jinal, you want to read? Priya, you want to read? Okay. Just reduce your volume a little bit because there's some static in your background. Yeah, proceed. Still some static is there. Maybe we'll come back and check. The meanwhile, who wants to read? Um, better, better. Yeah, yeah, correct. So now, in this question, if you read, okay, I'll come back to this question in a minute. Okay, this is also future value, but you have to evaluate whether it is a single investment or multiple investment. See, what does this question say? You invest rupees 3,000 in a 2-year investment. 2 years investment. It is not saying you're investing every year. You're making it in 2-year investment that pays you 12% per annum. Calculate the future value of the investment. So when you evaluate if this is a single or a multiple, this is actually a single investment. So single investment, you're investing a principal of 3,000. Okay, you're investing a principal of 3,000. The rate of interest is 12% per annum. What is the future value? Future value in this case is nothing but the amount. Okay, P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole power N. N is 2 years. Okay, so all you have to do is just multiply like this and calculate. Okay, so this I've just used the compound interest formula, CI formula here. Why did I use the CI formula? Even in CI, they can ask you the future value. Why? Because it's a 2-year investment. After 2 years, how much value are you going to get? That is the question it is asked. It is not talking about multiple investments. It is not talking about investments being made every year. Are you understanding? Okay, so we have used the CI formula. So just calculate this 1.12 into equal to into 3000. You get 3763.2. This is your amount or your future value. Okay, so this is the future value you can calculate in case of a single investment also. Now come to 18th one. Just read that one. Yeah. 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 So now you see future value of an annuity made annually. Here they are specifically mentioning to you that it is an annuity and it is made annually. So what do we do in this particular situation? In this situation, we will use the annuity formula. Future value is equal to, and again, they've given you the years, they've given you the rate also. So future value is equal to A into 1 plus I the whole power n minus 1 divided by I. Okay, future value is nothing but A is 500 into within bracket 1 plus I is 1.14 whole power n, n is 7 minus 1 divided by 0.14. Now, how to calculate this using your calculator? All of you know how to do 1.14 the whole power 7, correct? So, just do 1.14 the whole power 7 on the calculator into 2 times or into once on your calculator equal to, so that gives you whole square. You want me to switch on the video and show it on the calculator? Okay, this is whole square. So now I'm going to press equal to, okay, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what you get is 2.50226879,128. Now next step is minus 1. Okay, minus 1. Okay, so this is what you get. Now next step is divided by 0.14. Divided by 0.14, and then you press the equal to button. Sorry. No. I'm getting 5365.24. This is what I'm getting. Is it matching? Yeah. So this is the value that we are getting. What happened? Correct. Right. What is your question? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it is coming in the bracket, no? Where is it written differently? No, no, no. I told you not to refer that, no? The formula, they would have written the I here. That is the only difference. It should give you the same answer, but its memory and all that correctly, I asked you to use this formula. Because I've taught you with memory and all that in the class. So I asked you to use this particular formula. Okay. But in the textbook, I think it's just given as A by I into 1 plus I the whole plus, something like this. Correct? This is also correct. Nothing wrong with that formula. That formula is also correct. But I would prefer you to use what I've given you in the class. We have done this multiple times. You should not have this doubt. Okay. Are you clear now? Whoever had the doubt about the bracket, I'm asking you. Sashank, right? Okay. Okay, let's go to the next question. Sorry? Okay. Okay, let us continue. Let's go to the next question. Yeah, please read, Priya. Hmm. Oh, okay, here the value is given to you here straight away, right? So Z invests rupees 10,000 every year starting from today. Means this is beginning of the year. So we have two types of annuity. One is end of the year, the other one is the beginning of the year. Okay. So what do you do if in the case of the beginning of the year? The beginning of the year means same formula, but you will just multiply additionally with 1 plus I. Okay, we'll be multiplying with 1 plus I additionally. So in this question it says starting from today. Underline this. This means that first investment is happening at time 0. Okay, so what you do in this case is 10,000 is the value. Again, same formula. Finally, we are going to multiply with 1 plus I. That is going to be the only change. Sorry, my pen is a little slow. I think it needs to be charged. Okay. So here I am going to substitute with 10,000. and I'm going to have 1 plus I is 0.8, so whole power n, 10 minus 1 divided by 0.08, okay, into 1.08. Okay, so just use your calculator. Okay, so 1.08 the whole part, 10, calculate on the no need to even calculate, in fact it's given here. 2.1589 minus 1 is 1.1589, 1.158925. This divided by 0.08, 0.08 divided by, okay, so that makes it 14.4865625 into 1.08 into this 1.08 into 10,000. That makes it 1,56,454.875. Okay, so this is the value that you're getting for the future value. Question very clearly says future value. That is why. Are we clear with the concept of beginning of the year? Can we proceed to present value? Yeah. It says starting from today, no? Every year starting from today. So if I do the time graph, okay, in the time graph 1, 2, so on up to the 8th year. So where do I put this 10,000 investment? In 10,000 invested every year is 10,000 here, then 10,000, then every year there is a 10,000 starting. So the last 10,000 will happen not at 8th year, it will happen in the 7th year. Okay, so totally if you count to end of 7th year, these are all end, okay. This is all when we write here, it becomes the end in the time graph. Okay, so the first one is happening at time 0. Okay, so since it's all beginning of the year that the investment is happening, the first one is happening at time 0. The second one is happening at the beginning of second year. Okay, beginning of the first year is time 0. Beginning of the second year is end of first year. Are you clear about this? Understood this part? Beginning of second year is end of first year, like that. Okay, and the beginning of 8th year is end of 7th year. So that's why we are putting it here. Okay. Yeah. So shall we move on to the present value concept? What we mean by present value? Present value concept comes in the situation of mostly borrowings. Okay. Whenever we take a loan times 0 we take a loan. At this juncture we take a loan times 0. Okay. So you have a graph 0, 1, 2, 3, 4-year loan suppose you have taken. So at time 0 you will be borrowing, let's say 1 lakh. When you will be repaying later 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next 4 periods you will be repaying the loan. So how much installment should I pay? How much of installment should I pay? Okay, every year. That is my question. So for that, this is the present value. This is the value today. Okay, this is going to be repaid by way of smaller installments. Let's say some 26k, 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 because including interest. When you take this, you will get probably total of 1 lakh and 4,000 or something like that. But what is the installment that I'm going to pay? So this is nothing but the annuity, because it is the same equated monthly installments we say, no? So it's not monthly, it's annually in this case, but it is the equal installments that you're paying year on year. Okay. So this is exactly what we try to find out. Okay. So let's do question number 21 and then we will come to 20 and 22. Okay. So I have a lot of questions in this and applications, buy versus not buy, bond valuation, perpetuity. So I have all kinds of questions here. So we will do all the questions. So let's first do question number 21. Okay. Priya, read it. 21. We'll do 21, then come to 20. So the question here says 5,000 is paid every year for 10 years. So in the time graph, if I were to write down in this case, it is going up to 10, dot, 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 up to 10. And how much are you paying? You're paying rupees 5,000. So here the amount that you're paying is 5,000, 5k, 5k. Every year you're paying like that up to the 10th year. You're paying 5k. So how much did you borrow? How much of loan have you taken at time 0? That is question mark. That is a question mark. How much money did you borrow at time 0? This is a question mark. This is what you need to pay. The interest is 14%. It's a 10-year loan. So all you have to do is use the present value formula. What is the present value formula? PV is equal to A into 1 plus I the whole power n minus 1 divided by I. Same as future value. One additional term here is 1 plus I the whole power n. Okay, textbook again, this will be slightly different. Don't bother about what is given. This formula will be very helpful for you to use the memory function also of the calculator. Okay, so let us write down, fill up the values. 5,000 into 1 plus I, which is 1.14 whole power n. N here is 10 minus 1 divided by I is 0.14 into 1.14 the whole power 10. So please pay attention. I'm going to show the memory and all those things of this calculator. We will completely revise this. Okay. And in the subsequent problems, I may not be solving the whole thing. I will just substitute and leave it. You may have to solve it. Okay. So just pay attention for this particular question. So what you're going to do first is calculation of 1.14 the whole power 10. Okay, that value on your calculator you take 1.14 on the calculator. Okay, this you calculate, whole power 10 you calculate, all of you know how to do it. I am also going to calculate, then we will compare our answers. Are you getting this? Okay, 3.7072213408. The next step is to do first calculation of the denominator. Denominator has got this value into 0.14. So multiply into 0.14. What do you get? 0.5190. Are you getting this value? Very good. So put this in the memory of the calculator. How do you put it in the memory? Press the M plus button. Press the M plus button of the calculator. Okay. M plus, which is here. Okay. Only once. Just press it only once. If you press it more than once, then it will go multiple times into the memory. Next step is to come to the numerator. What does the numerator say? The numerator has got 1.14 the whole power 10 minus 1. But you already calculated 1.14 the whole power 10. But you multiplied it additionally with 0.14. Correct? So we are going to remove the effect of this by dividing it with 0.14. Correct? So divide it with 0.14. So we come back to our value on 1.14 the whole power 10 now. Now next step is to do minus 1. Minus 1 is what we will do next. So this we get the numerator value. Now divided by the denominator. So where is your division button? Just press your division button. Then press MRC button 2 times. MRC button 2 times. When you press, you will get this value on the calculator. Okay, this MRC means memory recall. Now after you do that, press the equal to button. You will get 0.5216 Okay, sorry, 5.216. Now last step is to multiply with into 500, 5000. 5000 is your value here. Okay, so last step is to multiply with the 5000. So multiply with 5000, what do you get? What you get is, are you all able to see this? It is 2,60,000, sorry, 26,080. Let me write here. 80.57. See, in one step we got the answer. So these kind of questions will take hardly any time for you to solve. Okay, because of the calculator formula that we have here. Are we clear? Can we proceed? So let us go to question number 20 now. Yes. Yes, please read. So what will be the equal annual installment? So this question is asking you to find the present value. I'm not going to do the calculations now. I'm just going to uh, put substitute and show you. Okay. So calculations you will have to do it yourself. Maybe this one question I'll show you the calculation because here we are going to use the memory 2 times. So I'll show you what we are going to do here. He borrows. The moment the word the borrows is used, it means it is taken at time 0. So if I do a time graph, at time 0 I am borrowing 5 lakhs. Okay, so how much he pays? Equal installment for 20 years. 1, 2, 3, up to 20 here, dot up to 20. So how much is the loan installment that he is repaying? So A is missing in this case. How are we going to find A? We will use the PV formula because the borrowing, the lump amount, the lump sum, happened at this juncture. Okay, the lump sum happened at this juncture. Yes. Yes. Hmm. Yes. Without doubt. Absolutely. Nothing will be mentioned mostly. It will be assumed to be end of the period. If it is beginning, it will be specifically mentioned. I'll come to that. Okay. I'll come and explain. I have a question here. 23rd question. I will explain that also. Okay. Okay. So this is, you're supposed to calculate this. Okay. So I'm going to show you the calculation in this case because this you're going to use the memory 2 times in this. So how we are going to do that? We'll revise that also. 1.1 the whole part 20 minus 1 divided by 0.1 into 1.1 the whole part 20. So I'm going to quickly do it since all of you know how to do 1.1 the whole part 20, and I will read out the answer for you to compare. I'm not going to be showing the calculator now. So just calculate all of you 1.1 the whole part 20. So what you get is 6.7274994928. Then multiply with 0.1. What you get is 0.67274999492. Now m plus, store this in memory. Next, divided by 0.1. You will come back to this value, 1.1 the whole part 20. That is 6.7274999492. Next step is to minus 1. Next step is to divide by MRC 2 times. MRC 2 times, you will get I think I have some issue. I think it is once let me recalculate. We have to be very careful in, even if we have been doing it many times. Okay, now I've got the right one. I think it's 8.5135637197. This is what you get. Yes or no? Now press M plus again. Let this go into the memory. Okay. Now type 5 lakh on your calculator divided by MRC 2 times again. You will get 58,729.81. This is the value you're getting. Okay, this is your annuity. Now this sum we did specifically because A was missing in this question, whereas in this question PV was missing. In this question A was missing. So 2 times M plus we used. Okay, this we used only one time M plus. So just to revise this concept, I have done 2 times. Are you clear? Let's go to question number 22 then. Very good. 22, read please. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, everywhere. You should press MRC 2 times. Then M plus will work. Okay. 2 times. Yeah. Moment you do 2 times, what happens is, what you have stored in memory earlier, no, that will get erased out. Okay. No, that's because if you don't press MRC 2 times, you can't do it. Okay. You must press MRC 2 times. That is very important. Okay. Yeah. So in this question, what we are going to do is, um, so it's the same thing, just that there are two separate things. It's 5,50,000 the car cost, but he gets a loan only for 5 lakhs. And balance 50,000 he pays at the time of purchase itself. So 5 lakhs is the amount that he is borrowing from the bank. Okay, at 15%. Now this he is going to pay by way of monthly installments. So 12 monthly installments. So we don't know how much he is going to pay. So A is missing. Monthly installments means I. 15 by 12 on your calculator. 15% is per annum. So per month is 15 by 12, which is 1.25. Divided by 100 is 1.0125. This is the number that you will have. Now whole power 12 because it is paid in 1 year, right? Minus 1 divided by 0.0125 into 1.0125, the whole power 12. Okay. Now the value is given here. I would suggest that you use this value itself. Of course, you can use memory, M plus and all that. You can use this value and find it. Okay. I'm not going to solve this question because I think it is easy. You've already done in this question how to calculate A with M plus twice. So Priya, you can just try again and see if this question, the answer is coming for you. That M using the memory 2 times, whether it is working for you. Okay. We'll proceed to the next question. That is question number 20. Yeah, sure. Yes, Archana, definitely. Yeah, 23rd. Okay, so only difference in this question is it says starting from today. So underline the word starting from today. So the moment it says starting from today, it means that it is happening at the beginning of the period. So in the time graph, if I were to draw this, your mom is planning to give you 10,000 every year. So she is going to give you 10,000 at time 0. She's give you time at 1, 2. How many times is she going to give you? For the next 5 years. So I'm going to do 3, 4, 5. The last, this is all end, okay? Here, moment I write here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I am converting it to end. So the last one she'll be giving at this period. Okay, not at year 5 but at year 4. Beginning of year 5 is end of year 4. Are you understanding? Beginning of year 5 is end of year 4. So she has given you 5 installments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only thing is she gave you the beginning of the year. So she gave you beginning of the first year which you took here. She gave you beginning of the second year which you took here as end of first year. She gave you beginning of the third year which you took here. Then the beginning of the fourth year which you took here. Beginning of the fifth year which you took here as the end. The moment you convert the beginning of the year problem to an end of the year problem, then solving it becomes easy. What you do in this situation is, see in this question it's clearly given starting from today. Moment it is given, it is beginning of the year. Otherwise, every question basic fundamental assumption is it is end of the year only, end of the period only. Okay. So in this question, same PV formula. PV is equal to 10,000. Okay, 1 plus I is 10%, so 1.1. Instead of whole power 5, you will use whole power 4. Okay, because there are only end of the periods, there are only 4 years. I'll come back to this number. I'll come back to this. I'll tell you what it is. Okay, minus 1 divided by 0.4 into 1.1 the whole power 4. Now this will give you the present value of these 4. Okay, moment you calculate the present value of this, you will add another 10k for this missed out one. Okay, for this missed out one, because this is already at time 0, this is already at present value. Present means today, time 0, it is already at time 0, so we will just add 10k to this. Are we clear? Okay, so this is the only change in the formula. So that is what I have given in the chart also here. So same formula you use. Instead of n, you use n minus 1. 1 year you reduce. If it is given as 5 years in the question, you make it as 4 when you solve and add a. Add a means add the first installment once again. So this is what I have given here. So when you keep these notes handy, it will be very helpful for you before the day of the examination. Now I'm not going to solve this. I've just explained this to you. You can solve it yourself. We'll go to applications of annuity. Okay, Archana, you can continue. Ah, okay. So what I've told here is, starting from today means every installment is happening at the beginning of the period. So your mom gave you 5 installments at the beginning of every year. So what she gave you at the beginning of the 5th year is actually equivalent to end of the 4th year. So she's given you 4 end of the year payments. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. End of first year, end of second year, end of third year, end of fourth year. Okay. And the first one she gave you at the beginning of the first year, which becomes at time 0. So forget the time 0, it is already at present value. Time 0, whatever 10k she gave you, it is already at present value. So forget this, come back to this later. Remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever she gave you, this fourth or the fifth installment that she gave you is the beginning of 5th year, but you're taking it as end of the 4th year for your formula purpose. So this 10k, this 10k, this 10k, this is what we are going to calculate the present value for these 4 10ks. How do you calculate? A into 1 plus I the whole power n. N will be 4 you will take here. Okay. Minus 1 divided by I into 1 plus I the whole power 4. You will take 4 here because only for these 4 you are taking end of the period. This is already at present value, so I am not even considering this in my formula. So with this I will get the PV of 4 installments. Now to this I have to add the 10k which I did not add because I have got the present value now. This present value is giving me only for 4 installments. So to this I am adding the 5th installment which is already at time 0. Okay. Are you clear? Can I proceed? Sure. Okay, so before we go to applications, I want to do the last, these two, 31 and 32. That is, I've taught you present value, I've taught you future value. I want you to find out which is present value and which is future value in these two questions. Okay, so just for that sake, we have the last two questions. So let's go to that. Yeah. Read the 31. So, time graph. Okay, Raja is now 40. So, right now, time 0 and time 0, he's 40 years. Okay. So he is expecting that at his death, his wife should have 40 lakhs. So naturally, he'll die in the future, no? Whenever he is going to die at this juncture. So at that juncture, he wants to have 40 lakhs. Who should get it? His wife should get it. So when he dies in the future, 40 lakhs should come. He is expecting to live another 30 years. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so on up to 30th year. Up to there, he is going to live. Okay. So he is making some installment. We don't know how much A he is going to make. And this A will accumulate to 40 lakhs. Okay. At 3% per annum. So this A you will calculate using the PV formula or the FV formula. Anybody wants to volunteer? FV formula, very good. Because you need to have the lump sum in the future, not in the present. So in the FV formula, it is A into 1.03, the whole power n is 30 years. In 30 years time, minus 1 divided by I is 0.03. So this FV, here you will substitute 40 lakhs. Are we clear? Where is it saying commencing from now? Oh, that, okay. Equal annual investments commencing now at, yeah, we'll come to that. Just give me 1 minute. So first of all, first we are trying to find out whether this is present or future. So this is your future. Okay. So after that, if it is present, if it is commencing now, then you can just, it's actually an error. It is not commencing now in this question. Suppose it is commencing now, what will happen, I'll tell you. But right now, this question is without commencing now. Okay. So this is how you will be solving it. In case it is commencing now, means he is going to make immediate installments, then you will additionally multiply it with 1.03. That's all. That will be the only change if it is commencing now. Okay. Are you clear? Sashank, Sashank? Okay. So if it is commencing now, you will be doing this, but there is no, this actual original question, the correct wording, there is a printing error, the correct wording is without commencing now. Okay. So this is a case of future value. Now let us go to question number 32. Yeah, please read 32. Okay. So again in the time graph, what you have to put is, you're going to have time 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So when are you to have 75,000 in your bank account? It will come 8 years from now, after 8 years. So you want to have 75k at this juncture. Okay. So how much should I deposit every year so as to get 75k at the end of the 8th year? So what is this? Is this a present value question or a future value question? Which formula will you be using to find out your A? Yes, because this is also a future value question because you want to have this money in the future. So again, same formula you will use. You will say 75,000 is equal to A into 1.065, the whole power n is 8 years, minus 1 divided by 0.065. Okay, this will give you the value of A. This is also a future value question. Are we clear completely now? Are we clear with this? Anshul's father wishes to have rupees 75,000 in his bank account when his first college expenses begin. How much amount should his father deposit now? Correct. How much should he deposit now? It's a future value, but not this formula. You're right. It should be a single investment question. Correct. It is a future value with a single investment. That is correct. So it's a future value with this. Then there are no 8 installments. Suppose if it was 8 installments, then you will do this way. There are no 8 installments. One second, my pen is not. So there are no 8 installments. It is a single. How much should his father deposit now? So he should deposit some number now. Amount is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole power N. Okay, so again, this is a future value question only. But the thing is, there's a single investment. So 75, you will keep it as amount. This is your future value. Okay, correct. So this will be your future value. Then your present value will be that you're going to calculate. How much should you deposit now is your principal. 1 plus R is, sorry, so you can directly write 0.65 whole power N. N is 8. So with that, you will be able to calculate your P. So I think calculation we will leave it. Just check if you've got it. Anybody, any doubt? See if you've got it. Got it? So can I proceed? Anybody has got a doubt? Please put in the chat box. Okay. Let's not break the flow now because we have little bit of time. I want to finish the applications. Okay. We'll go to perpetuity next and then I will go to the remaining. Okay. What we mean by perpetuity is a situation where you are going to get some amount from a source like a pension for a lifetime. The time period is not defined. Lifetime means it goes on and on and on forever. Okay. So if I deposit 1 lakh rupees in a bank which is giving me 12% rate of interest, then I will be getting 12,000. So I will withdraw this 12,000. Next year again, this 1 lakh will be lying in my bank account. Again into 12% I'll be getting again 12,000. So like this I will be getting 12,000 every year forever. So this is called as perpetuity. Okay, so for calculating perpetuity is nothing but interest or income. In this case it is 12,000, interest or income divided by the rate percentage. Divided by the rate percentage. When we do that, you will get. So 12,000 divided by 12%. Okay. Is how much? Is nothing but 1 lakh. This will tell us the initial deposit that we made. The deposit that we made initially. What did we start with to start getting so much? Okay. So look at question number 29. Can Archana, can you continue? Read it. Hmm. he wants to earn 3,000, right? So income is this much, percentage is 8%. So divide this, you will get the answer. And then you should convert this percentage to monthly percentage. No, 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 you should not do that because that is to be received every month. So you should take 8 by 12. You should take 8 divided by 12. Okay. That is here. Instead of 8 means you will take 0.08. Instead of that, you should take 0.67 percentage. So 0.67 percentage. This is what you should take. Okay. Once again, see this. This is 8% compounded annually. Okay, 8% compounded annually, but he wants to get 3,000 per month. So convert this to monthly percentage. Okay, how do you convert it to monthly percentage? 8% divided by 12. 8% divided by 12 will give you 0.67. 0.67 percentage. So 3,000 divided by 0.67 will give you the value. Okay. When you take it as percentage, it is 0.67. When you take it as without the percentage, it is 0.0067. Of course, you should use point. It depends on how you're calculating. You want to use, there is a percentage button on your calculator. See, I'll show you here. You take 3,000 here. Okay. And then you have divided by button. Press that. Then 0.66666667 you have, right? I'm typing that. Then I'm pressing there is a percentage button here. I'm pressing that. If I do that also, I will get the answer. Are you understanding? So that yes. So that I will not get exactly when I'm using like that because it is 0.66667 percentage. No? So it is coming to 4,49,999.9999. You can round that to 4,50,000. You won't get. No, but that is not correct actually. You might get it, but that is not correct. Okay. This is the perfect way to do because there is compounding effect. No, so best to do this. Shall we go to growing perpetuity case? Just read, Archana. Right. So there's a growth also in the annuity. If there's a growth, what you would do is the formula will have, you are having 50 rupees you're going to receive. No, so income, same formula divided by R percentage minus the growth percentage. So in this case, it will be 0.005. So 50 divided by 2 percentage on your calculator. 2,500 you will get. Are you clear? Okay. R percent minus the growth percent. This is what we will be doing. Can we proceed? We'll go to applications. We have 5 more questions to do. And we have 25 minutes. So we have to wrap it up in that time. Okay, read Archana applications. We'll start with sinking fund. Okay, I have brought two types of questions in sinking fund. One very straightforward, another one little bit, adding some touches to it. So, company wants to establish a sinking fund. What do you mean by sinking fund is, see, in the future, you want to, in the future, suppose you want, you're running a company, you want to replace your asset, or you want to repay your debentures, or something like that, for which you want a huge amount of money. Then what the company does is, it will not be able to get any huge amount of money suddenly in the last minute. Okay, so what they will be trying to do is, they will be setting aside some value every year, which will accumulate to a big amount in the future. Okay, so similarly in this question also, the company wants to provide for a payment of 2 lakhs. In this case again, they have a debt, maybe they have a loan or something which is going to mature in 20 years. So they want to, so in the time graph, if you do 1 2 3 on up to 20 years, there is a debt which will mature at this juncture. So at this point, it will become 2 lakhs. The contributions are to be made every year to this fund. How much should I make? Okay. So what formula will you use for this? The word may be sinking fund, but look at the concept. What formula are you going to use for this? Future value, that's all. So here your future value is 2 lakhs. Okay, you're going to find your amount that you're going to set aside every year. 1.05, there's no compounding, semi-annually and all that. So whole part 20 minus 1 divided by 0.05. Okay, this is how you will be doing this question. Okay, 25th one. Let's read the 25th question. Yes, Archana, please read it. So there's a similar question only, but just that there is an asset which you have purchased for 5,20,000 now, which has got a life of 25 years. Now the sinking fund is created to replace it by a new model at 25%. So after 25 years, the cost of this will be 5,20,000 plus 25%. So plus 25% on your calculator should give you 6,50,000. This is the value you will get on the calculator when you add 25% to it. So after 25 years, this will be the cost. Okay, and there is also a scrap value of the old asset which you are selling. This is the new one and this is the old one. When you sell this, you will be getting 25,000. So if you get 25,000, balance 6,25,000 is your requirement for fund. Okay, your requirement for fund is 6,25,000. So how much should I set aside every year for the remaining 25 years? So the same thing in this question, it's 25 years and you need 6,25,000 instead of 2 lakhs in this case. So how much should I set aside every year? So same formula, you will be just replacing it with 6,25,000. The battery is a little low on the pen. Just give me 2 minutes. Yeah. At what percentage? 3.5 percentage. So you will get 6,25,000 here and 1.035 whole part 25. Okay, 0.03. Same formula, just the numbers have changed. This calculation is the new thing about this particular question. Are we clear? So normally these days they are asking a lot of application oriented questions. So that is why sinking fund, these are same concept, same formula, same calculation. Just that you have to translate it into this type. Sinking fund means mostly future value only. Okay. Now let's go to the next type. Buy versus not buy. That is, should I buy an asset or I should not buy an asset? That is the case. Okay. then whether leasing or purchasing, should I lease an asset or I should purchase an asset? These kind of concepts we will discuss next. Okay, read the 26th one, Archana. Yeah. Hmm. Correct. So now you are going to check whether you're going to buy this machine or not. So what is the cost? When will you decide to purchase a machine? When it gives you more benefit than the cost. Okay. So the cost you're going to incur for this machine is 50,000. So the machine will contribute 12,000 per annum for 5 years. So contribution, so if I do in the time graph, at time 0, I'll be incurring 50,000 cost. So I'm putting it within bracket, means outflow. Now for next 5 years, in the next 5 years, you will be earning 12,000 from it, 12k every year you will be earning 12k from this machine. Now the borrowing cost is 10%. You want to know whether you want to purchase this machine or not. Okay, so when will you purchase? When the benefit from this machine is greater than or at least equal to the cost, but definitely not lower than the cost. How do you calculate the benefit of this machine? These 12,000 you want to compare it with 50,000. That 50,000 value is at time 0. It is right now at time 0. So I need to bring this also down to time 0. So which means I need to find the value of this at the present. So what is the present value of these future contributions? The benefit is nothing but the PV of benefit or PV of the contributions from the machinery, because cost is already at present value. Cost is already at PV because it is at time 0. So now let me find out the PV of the contributions. So how do I find the PV? It is nothing but using this formula, 12,000 PV formula. Okay, 1 point, what is the percentage? 1.1 the whole power 5 minus 1 divided by 0.1 into 1.1 the whole power 5. So we will be calculating this value quickly. All of you just calculate with the method I have taught you. Denominator value comes to 0.161051. Put it in memory, m plus. So the whole value of this comes to 3.79 into 12,000. So the value that you're getting here is 45,489.44. Now this is your PV of benefit. Now what is the cost? Cost is 50,000. You tell me whether we should purchase the machinery or not. Benefit is only so much, cost is only so much. It should not be or should be purchased. Correct. It should not be purchased. Okay. So let's go to 27th question now. Yeah. Read, Archana. Can I erase this question? Yeah. Read the 27th one. So leasing versus buying now. Okay. So they want to know whether leasing is better or buying is better. So again, we are going to compare the two costs involved. So in leasing, what happens? In buying, what happens? Leasing versus buying. Okay. In a company may obtain a machine either by leasing for 5 years at an annual rent of 2,000. So again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 years or 5 years. So 5 years, leasing it for 5 years. One second. Yeah, give me tea or something. Sorry. So 5 years you're going to lease it. So for 5 years you're going to pay 2K. Okay, you're going to pay 2K, 2K. Now versus buying. Now buying, what happens? Buying, you'll be buying it for 8,100 rupees. When will you be paying this? You'll be paying this at time 0. Okay, in time 0 you're paying. So this also has to be compared with this. So this should be brought down to time 0. If you want to bring this down to time 0, then you are supposed to calculate the PV of this. Okay, so calculate the PV of this. What will it be? The PV of this will be, in this case, it will be 2K, 2K, and the percentage is 18%. So 1.18 the whole power 5, 0.18 whole power 5. So now when you calculate the present value of this, see what it comes to. 3.12 is the value that you're getting here. Into 2000 you'll be multiplying. So what you'll get here is 6254.34. This is the value. Now compare this with this. Which is a better option for us? Leasing or purchasing? Absolutely correct. So leasing also, we bring it down to today's cost so that we compare it with 8,100. Are we clear with this? This covers everything about annuity. The last is bond. Okay, this might take some time, but we'll finish it dot by line. Not to worry. Okay. So yeah, please, can you please read bond for me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Quickly. Yeah. Okay. So just all of you read the question to yourself once again. In the meanwhile, I'll quickly erase all these things. Try to understand if you're able to get it. Okay. So, were you able to read it? Shall we look at it? What are we to do? See, an investor wants to purchase a 3-year bond. Okay, it has a par value of 1,000. See, par value is the face value. Okay, but the bond normally doesn't sell at the face value. It sells at a value above 1,000 or below 1,000. That is, it sells sometimes at a discount or at a premium. So it totally depends upon the market. So this question is asking, at what price should I buy the bond now if it matures at par? So in a time graph, if I were to draw it, there is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So maturity, at the time of maturity you will get 1,000 rupees. Now, apart from this 1,000 rupees, every year you will be getting nominal interest of 10%. Whenever the word nominal interest rate is used, that is the interest rate you should use. Don't bother about this 14%. I'll tell you what this 14% is later. So, 1,000 into 10% will give you 100, 100, 100. You'll be earning 3 interest payments from the bond. Apart from that, you will also be getting 1,000 rupees at the end of 3 years. So, 2 payments. You will get annuity payment and 1 lump sum payment from this particular bond. Okay. Now, at time 0, what price should I pay for this bond? Okay, the price that I have to pay for this bond so that I can purchase the bond and I will get equivalent payments of so much. Okay, so what is the price? Price is nothing but the PV of these 3 payments, that is PV of interest plus PV of face value or par value that you're, let me use par value itself here. PV of par value that you're going to get at the end of 3 years. So this is like two questions combined. This part is the annuity question and this part is like your compound interest question. So in annuity question, you will be using the PV formula. What is the PV formula? Annuity into 1 plus I. For that I, you should use this 1.14 whole power 3 minus 1 divided by 0.14 into 1.14 the whole power 3. This is what you should be using. Okay, and then for this is nothing but the compound interest question. Compound interest in future you are going to receive 1000. So what is the compound interest formula? A is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 the whole power n. Correct. So A is given to you as 1000. P you need to find, that is your PV in this case. So R is 14%, so 1.14 whole power 3. So P is nothing but 1000 divided by 1.14 the whole power 3. If you find out the present value of these two, your sum is solved. You're going to get the price of the bond. So all of you quickly calculate the first part and I will read the answer. You can compare it. Okay. So what you get here is 232.16 as the PV for this part. Let us go to the next part. So what you get here is 674.97. So add the two values 232.16 with this. What you get is the price of the bond, which is 907.13. Are we clear? So this gets us to the end of this particular topic. We have come to the end of this topic, that is time value of money. We have covered all the concepts. See, this is 14 marks, but still you have any doubts, what you can do is you can let me know either on WhatsApp, or you can, for those of you who don't have my number, you can always, I will give it to you here. You can message on that particular number. You can message me on this particular number. Okay, so you can all of you can contact me if you have any questions in this particular topic. Okay, or in the evening also you can ask me. We will meet at 4 o'clock sharp. 4 to we will not wait this time, and 4:15 I'll be locking the room. I didn't do it because this was the first session and it was 6 o'clock, so maybe you're all not accustomed to coming at that particular time. But in the evening at 4 we will start sharp. I'll be available from 3:45 and I will lock the room exactly at 4:15. Okay. Beyond that, I will not be allowing any delay. And that 4:15, 15-minute gap is given only for those who may have some difficulty in um, any difficulty, last minute difficulty, network problem, and such things if you're facing. Okay. Otherwise, there's no excuse for you to come at 4:15. Okay. I hope this session was helpful to all of you all. What you can do is if you can send in all your feedback, okay, in the form of WhatsApp messages to me. That will be very helpful for me. Why it will be helpful for me is I will be able to, the others who are not attending this, it will be helpful in motivating them, in telling them that, you can benefit. I want everybody to benefit because this is 14 marks straight into your pocket. Okay. Don't miss out on this chapter. You can score very well. And the way the sessions are going to progress now, you're going to do calculus and logical reasoning, because calculus was supposed to be done now, but I wanted to give you, go a bit slow so that I give you good warm up time. Okay, so I want you all to come back with more energy for the evening. Then we will